And now you can see the Anime and Alcohol Show in all its video glory on our YouTube page at roughedge.tv. It's tiki time at Harbor Cove Cafe. Dive into the tropical paradise at the end of Spinnaker Drive in Ventura with vibrant drinks, delicious bites, award-winning fish and chips, and more. Now featuring extended hours, a dinner menu, and happy hour, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Harbor Cove Cafe, the hidden treasure at the end of Spinnaker Drive. Visit harborcovecafe.net for more information. It's Sunday morning, 8 a.m. That means it's time to drink some beer and talk some anime and other stuff. This is the Anime and Alcohol Show, live here on Rough Edge FM, with your host, Devin Crow.
Picture. Oh my god! Well, I do appreciate this. Is kind of low. Can I like change this?
Yeah, and you can move that around. They have little buttons and gears and stuff everywhere.
I don't know how to fucking move this up.
It should just.
Okay, well that works.
So we have new equipment and we're still figuring it out.
I think there's an Allen key that goes in here that you have to loosen.
Stupid Allen key.
This moved up, so I think
you got it. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So this is the Anime and Alcohol Show.
Yeah.
So we got both today.
Yeah, we do have both today. So the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle arc movie aired in Japan a few weeks ago, and it of course broke all kinds of crazy records. And the Japanese government said that they would be prosecuting people pretty heavily for anyone who was recording and posting that movie online illegally.
Really?
Yeah. And I think they even went to say that they would prosecute people that watched it illegally as well.
That's big, because usually they don't do that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to jail then.
At least there's no evidence that you did that.
Are you adjusting the camera?
You're too close.
I'm too close. Let's see. Oop, now I'm out of focus. Oop, I was in there. Oh, right there. Yep. All right, so one of those. So that's the focus. That's also focus.
This is all folked up.
This is all folked up.
That's good though, too.
Okay, so then the last one must be zoom in, zoom out, maybe.
Close might be a clue.
Yeah.
It does nothing.
It does nothing. Well,
okay.
I guess I'll just.
You're stuck with that.
I guess I'll just
figure it out.
sit back then.
Maybe we have to do. Go ahead and keep talking.
Okay. Yeah. So the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie. The Japanese government has been pretty hard on fucking pirating and all that other shit.
Yeah, you said hard on.
I know they've been pretty hard on pirating and so I reached out to my resident pirate, Nathan Lotz.
Oh, you're just giving it all away today.
Yeah, I was like,
you can take the phones off if you want to.
I asked him. I was like, hey, not that I would want to, but if I were to, what websites would I go to view the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie? And he was like, I got you.
I didn't even know there were websites like that.
Yeah. Also, there's another on that same website. The Sakamoto Days is on there, and it's actually a full episode ahead.
Really?
Yeah, I watched Monday's episode.
You know, it did my heart good as I went to the fair this week. The Ventura County Fair is going on here in town. And they had an anime booth full of T-shirts and merchandise.
Yep.
And they had a lot of cool Sakamoto stuff. I was surprised, but I almost got a shirt.
Almost got a Sakamoto shirt.
Yep.
There's actually a Persona 3 pop-up event next weekend in downtown LA. I was thinking about going to it, but it's downtown LA, and I fucking hate downtown LA.
Yeah, I know you do.
It's like, oh, there's a paid parking structure nearby. And I was like, you. But yeah, so I did not watch the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie.
But if you had watched it, what would you have thought of it?
If I had to have watched it, it was pretty darn good up until I would say the end of the movie. The end of the movie got very kind of, I don't know, stagnant almost.
You mean like boring or?
It did kind of get boring, and I mean, I've actually read the manga on this, so like I know what happens, like
Yeah.
I know what happens, and it focuses on 3 fights. um Shinobu versus the upper rank 2 demon. um uh what's his fucking name? Zenitsu versus the upper rank 6, and then our main character Tanjiro and Gyu fighting the upper rank 3 demon. That's where it mainly focuses on. And all 3 of these main characters have history with this demon. Shinobu, the upper rank, Shinobu versus the upper rank 2 demon. The upper rank 2 demon kills Shinobu's sister,
Bummer.
who was the flower Hashira, and she's kind of dedicated herself to finding who killed her sister. Zenitsu, his history with the new upper rank 6 demon was his old um was his old essentially classmate that his sensei made both of them the inheritors of the lightning style breathing form. And Zenitsu can only master the breathing form 1, and the other guy mastered every other form except for the first form. And
So they're a perfect team.
Kind of like a perfect team, and that's how the master saw it. But the he became a demon. His friend slash rival came a demon, and then the master, when he found out that he became a demon, he killed himself. And so Zenitsu took that as offense and wanted to make sure that he atoned for his sins of becoming a demon. And then Gyu and Tanjiro, and I think I might be saying the name wrong, but I'm pretty sure
Hey, it's close enough.
it's close enough.
May show pronunciation.
It's also 8 a.m, and
Yes.
yeah, there's no script to this.
And you just started your caffeine, so
I did.
Yeah.
And Akaza is the upper rank 3 demon, and he killed one of the Hashiras. It was in Mugen Train, at the very end of Mugen Train. And so Tanjiro had it out for this guy and wanted to kill him, and so on and so forth. The Shinobu versus upper rank 2 is actually a fairly quick fight. Shinobu loses.
Okay.
There's no spoiler. The manga's been out for ages and it's over, so get over yourself.
If you wanted to watch it, you should have watched it already.
Yeah, read the fucking manga. There you go. She loses, and so her shtick is poison.
Okay.
And she does not. This is what kind of bothers me about this as well. So she's developed poisons that can kill demons, and her sword that she uses only has like a point on it, and then the rest of it, because she doesn't have enough strength to chop the demon's head off.
So you can only stab them.
So she can only stab them. But here's what's bothering me. If there is a Hashira that has developed poison that can kill demons, why aren't all members of the Demon Slayer Corps coating their swords in poison?
That's a good point.
It would
Somebody's missing out on some poison sales.
It would make things a whole lot easier. Now the upper rank demons, they do have resistance, and they can heal past some of these things and so on and so forth. But why don't the Demon Slayer Corps have poison on their blades?
Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's a weird take. But anywho, she's fighting the upper rank 2, and the upper rank 2 clearly has an advantage, and she's going through different poisons to try to get to him and so on and so forth. She loses, and then right as she's about to get absorbed into Doma, who's the upper rank 2, Shinobu's one of her underlings comes in and sees her. This is Kano. Sees her getting defeated and killed by the upper rank 2, and the upper rank 2 ends up absorbing Shinobu into his body, because they eat humans and things like that. And you get a little bit of his backstory of this and that. He's always been kind of an asshole, evil person, and then it kind of ends there. We'll see more of that definitely during the second movie, which I believe comes out in 2027.
Okay.
And then it kind of pans over to Zenitsu versus the Upper Rank 6, and it's also a fairly quick battle. I would say maybe 20 minutes of the movie is that one. Same thing, 20 minutes of the movie, and they're trying to map.
Well, how long's the movie?
2.5 hours.
Okay, so 20 minutes isn't as long as you think it would be normally.
Yeah,
if it was that 90-minute movie, it'd be a third of the movie.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hour long movie. I was like, oh, this is a long ass movie. And so Zenitsu ends up winning. He beats him with no contest. We knew this. But he beat him with a new breathing style that he developed, like lightning breathing form 11 or some shit like that. But not without almost losing his life. And, he's on his last dregs because of a demon blood technique that they use. And so he's getting healed up. And then it kind of goes into the fight with Tanjiro and Asuka and Asuka. And that's kind of the core of this movie, is this fight. And, Asuka, he is all about power. He wants to get stronger. He wants to fight people and kill people for fun, basically, but he recognizes strength, and, he'll ask for names. He's like, well, you're strong. I want to know your name so I can keep it seared in my brain. He's kind of got this weird warrior's, honor to him. And it's Tanjiro versus the water, Tanjiro and the water Hashira versus this upper rank 3 demon. And he's got crazy good healing capabilities because the demons can heal. And the way to kill a demon is obviously either through a poison, which Shinobu develops, or cutting off their head with these swords that are created.
That'll do it, I would think.
And so, Tanjiro finally realizes, because he's like, man, every attack that we do, even in blind spot, like, he just knows. He knows where it's coming from. And, like, I got to figure out his technique. So you kind of see this backstory of Tanjiro when he was little and his dad. And, he realized it's kind of like a killer instinct, kind of thing. Like, he can sense the bloodlust, like Asuka can sense the bloodlust. And so he learns to through an event that he had with his dad when his dad killed a bear, and his dad was a very sickly man, and so on and so forth, that you can hide this bloodlust kind of thing. And now they start getting the upper hand. And so they finally deal this finishing blow on the upper rank 2 demon and chop his head off. And you see the head kind of disintegrate, but the body's still there. And all of a sudden the body is still moving and fighting. Well, the upper rank 2, he's
like a cockroach. He can run around without a head.
Yeah, well, he's regenerating his head now. So he's essentially invincible when it comes to strikes. The only thing that could technically kill him is the sun, because the demons are vulnerable to the sun. They can't be out there, and they're like vampires.
Okay. They start sparkling.
So they're fighting this off. But as this is going on, there's this backstory of the demon rank 2, the demon, the rank 2 demon. And it's kind of showing like how he kind of became a demon. And he had a pretty hard life. His dad was sick and he was stealing stuff, and he kept getting caught for stealing and beaten up by the government and all this other stuff. And he had this really strong will. And then he got tattooed as a criminal, and he ends up like causing a ruckus in the town, and he's beating up all kinds of people. And he ends up meeting this, owner of this dojo, his now sensei. And he kind of starts turning his life around. He falls in love with the daughter of the sensei and all this other stuff. And there's rival dojos that want to buy this dojo and shit like that. And so they end up poisoning the well. The daughter dies, his love dies, and he goes crazy. And Muzan hears of this demon that's in this area. And he's like, I didn't put a demon in this area. So he goes to check it out himself and finds this human, turns Asuka into this demon, and, the rest is history. But demons aren't supposed to have memories of their past life, but he is reliving these memories. He's now gaining.
Are they coming back slowly to him or something?
Yeah,
like that?
Kind of. But like, here's the problem I have. This backstory and sequence and stuff like that took up a good 30 to 45 minutes of the movie. And I was like, this is really long. Like,
Let me ask you, did you know the backstory before you went in, or something
Yes.
that you did know the backstory?
Yes, it's explained
So
in
it's
the
a-
manga.
So it's another one of those. Okay, do most people who would watch that know the backstory?
Probably not. Probably not. They're not
So
reading
maybe
the
it was
manga.
required, but maybe it didn't have
But
to be
like
so long.
yes, it could have. I mean, it's required to the fight. It is required to know this to the fight. But like it could have been shortened. It really could have been shortened. We could have seen more action with Shinobu in the upper rank 2. You could have seen more action between Zenitsu and the upper rank 6. Like it could have been shortened a little bit, and the other fight scenes lengthened because they were beautiful. They're gorgeous, animated in the movie. So, as upper rank 2, upper rank 3 is remembering his past life and so on and so forth. Now he's battling between this human image of himself and the demon form, and he, the woman he loved that died in the poisoning of the well kind of just says it's time to stop fighting. It's time to stop fighting, and he ends up giving up, and it's basically, we call it talk no jutsu. It's notorious in Naruto, when he's fighting this main villain and then he starts yapping his flaps, and the villain's like, you're absolutely right, I give up. It's like it ends with not fighting kind of thing. And so he ends up giving up and submitting to essentially his human form, and he disintegrates, and that's kind of the end of the movie. But
Well, the reason I was asking about the origin stories is because I'm tired of origin stories. That's one of the problems with superhero movies. It seems like every time you see a new superhero movie, you got to go through their origin again.
yeah,
And we know their origins at this point, and that's what I was so happy with the Superman movie and with the Fantastic Four movie, is they give you a couple of lines on the screen and then drop you into the action.
Yeah.
Good. That's where we need to be now. We don't need to go through Superman on the farm or the Fantastic Four going to space.
Yeah.
We don't need that anymore. We got that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's appreciative. So, but in this case, you need something.
You have to have you have to have the context of it, because it involves the reason why he dies, kind of situation. Okay. So it is important to it, but it definitely didn't need to be, the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
It definitely did not need the last 30 minutes. Also, if anybody noticed, when the Hashira training arc ended and all the Hashiras and Demon Slayer Corp people are getting dropped into the Infinity Castle, there are subtle hints about who's going to die and who survives.
Oh, little Easter egg kind of things.
Kind of.
Not Easter eggs, but prediction.
Yes.
Notes.
So
foreshadowing. That's the word I was looking for.
Foreshadowing. If you go back and watch, anybody who fell into the demon castle with the red lights, they die. Anybody who falls into the castle and the lights are yellow, they survive.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. So
you enjoyed it. So what's the full title of this again?
Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie.
Okay, easy enough.
Yeah. And then the part two, I believe, comes out. I don't think it comes out next year. I think it comes out in 2027, and then the final part comes out in 2029.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spreading them out. About 2 years is about right, though.
Yeah.
So speaking of demon stuff, I watched K-pop Demon Hunter.
Finally
watched it. I kept promising week after week. Damn, it was good.
It's a great movie.
It was really, really good.
Last time I checked, it's still number 1 on Netflix.
It was still number 1 last night when I watched it. Yeah. And I don't know how the recordings are doing, but I know it was number 1 in the charts for the music and everything.
Yeah.
And I was stunned because it was fun. It was funny. I love the animation style. I don't know what you would call it. It's not really anime, is it?
No, not really.
3D anime, maybe?
It's definitely CGI anime, but I mean, really well done.
But it was very well done, yes. Yeah. And it was gorgeous with all the lights and colors and things that they put in there.
Yeah.
I didn't even mind the K-pop because me, I'm a metal dude.
Yeah.
And but I didn't mind the K-pop. It was entertaining. It was actually pretty good. And it was funny because my wife goes, "Really, you're going to watch this?" And I go, "I really kind of have to,
Yeah.
And then pretty soon I looked and she put her book down and she was watching the movie. So, that tells you something about it right there. But yeah, it was really, really terrific. And I can see why it's doing so well and deservedly so. I wonder, though, how it would have done if they'd put it in theaters.
I think it would have done really well.
Because, I think so, too. I think that the anime is having a moment right now. Just go to the bookstore. I mean, if you go to a Barnes & Noble, they've got a huge anime section.
Mm-hmm.
You go down to the fairgrounds, there were 3 or 4 anime booths,
Mm-hmm.
and it's booming. And I think that's going to continue for a while because people are looking for something different, and that's certainly different for most people. Not for Devin, but for most people it is. But I was very impressed with that movie, and that's what I was wondering, because I told you it was like a Pixar movie.
Yeah,
it had that great animation, the great story, the great voice performances, and people go to the theater for that.
Yeah,
and I think that would have.
Oh, I think it would have killed it in the theaters. I think it would have absolutely destroyed the box office.
So it doesn't matter. So it doesn't. It didn't. Did it play to theater anywhere, or did it just go to Netflix?
I just went straight to
Netflix.
Produce it, yeah.
They did, so they financed it and everything.
Oh yeah, that's a Netflix original.
They're very happy with it. I can guarantee you that, because it's doing very well, and it's just excellent. It was just very, very good. You get to know the characters, you get to know the situations. When you first hear about it, okay, a K-pop group battling demons, please. But that's all explained and everything. It's very well done.
Yeah,
I would watch it again. I think
it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
it is a really, really good movie.
I'm glad to see a movie like that getting the attention that it deserves, rather than a dumpy one that doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, like War of the Worlds. It's
okay. Now, we talked about this before the show. Neither one of us have seen War of the Worlds.
No,
we know people who have.
We know people who have, and I've seen nothing but clips of it on Instagram and Facebook, on the reels, and it is bad.
For those of you who don't know, War of the Worlds is a new movie that's on Amazon Prime. It all takes place on a Zoom meeting. And my understanding is, again, I haven't seen it, that is basically a 90-minute commercial for Amazon Prime.
Yes, one of the most egregious.
And there's actually clickable links to buy things, right?
Yeah, one of the most egregious things in this, and there is a literal alien invasion going on, and they're asking, is it Ice-T?
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. If he has a flash drive, and he's like, "This is a secure government facility. We don't have flash drives here." And blah 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 blah. And he's like, I have a flash drive. I have a flash drive too. And it's like, and he goes, well, I can drone a flash drive to you. Just put it in your cart and order it. This is a literal. And then he goes to Amazon.com. It shows him going to Amazon.com, putting a flash drive in his cart, ordering it, and then they deliver this flash drive with the Amazon drone delivery service. This is a literal alien invasion, save the planet kind of moment, but you have to buy the flash card off of Amazon so I could drone it to you. It's not like, oh yeah, let me drone it to you and fuck Amazon right now.
Yeah.
No, they literally make him buy it, and it shows him going to Amazon.com, typing in flash drive, clicking on the first link, putting it in his cart, ordering it, and then they drone it to him. Come on, like,
even during an alien invasion, would Amazon even be open?
Oh yeah, I believe 100% they would.
They probably would be.
They would be. I mean, back at the old Red Diamond where I worked, we had fires going on, and they were like, "Well, still work, just don't get close to them."
Yeah, that's true.
And
I heard a story recently about somebody who worked somewhere. See, I'm trying to be very careful. And the person that was the employee called in sick because he'd got COVID. He had tested. He had COVID, and the person he called in sick to told him, come on in anyway. Jesus will protect us from COVID.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's the kind of things that are going on out there. Here's the other thing I heard about it, is that the special effects are basically the special effects you can buy for your phone.
Yeah.
In fact, Jeff, who is the one who saw Jeff from the Backseat Mogul show, he says that he has several of those effects on his phone now as he speaks, and they were using that for that movie. What would the budget for that movie be? It had to be like $10,000, and $5,000 went to Ice Cube.
Right? I don't know, man. There are scenes where he's like delivering this message to the president about what's going on, and the president is clearly on a golf course through like a Zoom call, and he's like, the aliens are attacking secure government locations and destroying. It literally just sounds like he's got his finger on the script and he's just going word by word on it, and it's just like, really?
I'm glad you're sitting down, because I just found out what the budget for this movie was.
Was that $100 million?
$65 million.
I mean, 60 that probably went to Ice Cube.
For a Zoom call. Wow. I don't know, man. There's just, and then, by the way, it's not 0% anymore. It's now 4%. So
4%.
it's racing up the charts there. But
I'm shocked that the user score on that is 22%.
Yeah.
There are people that liked this.
Some
movie.
people like it. And here's the thing. I don't think Amazon Prime cares what we think, because how much free press did that movie get because it's so bad?
I mean, how many people are watching it because of all the shit talk?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see it because it's so bad.
Yeah.
I will sit there and put 90 minutes into it. And here's the saddest part about the whole thing. Are you familiar with the whole 1938 radio recording of War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
They had an opportunity to do that again here.
Yeah.
And do it by the Zoom calls. That's kind of interesting. Do it by Facebook and FaceTime, and Facebook, all those things. That would have been a very interesting take on War of the Worlds. But instead, they make a commercial.
Yeah, it is just a giant, egregious Amazon Prime commercial. It is so bad. And it you know what it does? It really reflects the greed that Amazon has for not only like, we can't give you this to save the world, you have to buy it. Yeah, it does sound so bad. I want to watch it. Yeah, thanks, Andrew. But it's like one of those things. It's like so bad because like you have to buy this to save the world. And then to top it off, they are still making people work during this alien apocalypse going on. You know,
I'm sorry the aliens are out there killing people, but you got to come serve burgers.
You got to make your deliveries. We got to make sure these deliveries are on time.
Don't kill these bugs before the bugs kill you.
Yeah, we won't promise you same day or next day shipping on any Amazon Prime stuff, but during alien invasion, you know what? For a secure government facility, we'll make an exception. And it highlights corporate greed.
Yeah.
And that's not the message of the movie.
Well, it shouldn't be.
But it's totally the message of the movie that it's corporate greed.
Yeah. If you're going to watch a War of the Worlds movie, watch the 1958 original or watch the Steven Spielberg remake. Both of them very good movies.
Is that with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't watch this one. I mean, unless you're looking for something on Amazon.
Yeah. It was so bad. It's just crazy how bad that, and just how much of a negative like look that has on Amazon.
Well, again, I don't think they mind because it got their name out there and everybody's talking about it and everybody's talking about Amazon.
You know what's funny though is no one is complaining about like that corporate level greed. Everyone's just talking about how bad the movie is. But it's just like when you sit back and look, you're like, again, Ice Cube is being forced to buy a fucking flash drive because he can't deliver the flash drive to him unless he buys it. He's like, oh, I could deliver this to you via drone. It shows on the map, you know, you just got to buy it. What do I fucking need to buy it? The world's going to end. Amazon needs that $14.95 for that flash drive
to save the world.
Fuck. Oh my
God. $14 worth saving the world. I don't know.
It's bad, dude.
Can't wait to watch it. I'm with Andrew. I can't wait to watch it. I just, everybody I've talked to just is stunned by how horrible it is. In fact, Jeff recommended that you get together with friends, have a couple of beers and watch it that way.
Yeah.
He said that's the best way. Speaking of beers.
Yeah.
And now you can see the Anime and Alcohol Show in all its video glory on our YouTube page at roughedge.tv. For the very best breakfasts, lunches, and cocktails, visit Harbor Cove Cafe, the hidden treasure at the end of Spinnaker Drive in the Ventura Harbor. Pele Utu, Reno's only traditional tiki bar. A kaleidoscope of colors and tropical charm with the undeniable allure of paradise and intoxicatingly delicious cocktails. Pele Utu, open Wednesday through Sunday from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. 1275 Stardust Street in Reno, Nevada. For more information, please visit pele-utu.bar. Sorry about that, folks. I got so excited about this beer we're going to try. I'm not even sure it's a beer, but it's from Lagunitas Brewing Company, that I played all the wrong videos and not the right one. But I'm not going to play the right one now because we don't have another 43 seconds to waste. And plus, I want to try this beverage. I guess we'll call it a beverage.
Yeah, this is Lagunitas Uncensored Punch.
Tropical Punch.
Tropical fruit punch contains alcohol.
And it contains a lot of alcohol. It's 9.2%. which is what you want to be drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
After having
as you can see, it's got some color to it. It's got like a little tropical punch color. And Devin,
it smells like a sour, by the way.
It does.
That is terrible.
It tastes like Hawaiian Punch.
It tastes like Hawaiian Punch. It literally just tastes like Hawaiian Punch.
Hawaiian Punch with a little, I don't want to say beer flavor, because I'm not sure it's a beer flavor.
It tastes like
fizz.
It tastes like Hawaiian Punch that, you know what it tastes like? It tastes like a Jell-O shot that never set because there was too much alcohol in it.
Great description of it.
It literally tastes like a fruit punch Jell-O shot that someone put too much alcohol in and never set.
Yeah. Except you can't taste the alcohol, which sucks.
I taste the alcohol. It's like
do you?
Bittery alcohol.
May I see the can there? Did you check for a synopsis first?
I did. There is no synopsis. Yeah. There's still liquor in there, by the way.
And this seems like a very bad motto. Seems like the right time to tell you you're missing out on exactly nothing.
That's a weird motto.
Don't buy this because it's nothing. I don't know. That's weird. It's 9.0% alcohol, not 9.2. You think it tastes like 9.0?
I don't think it tastes like a 9% alcohol drink, but I mean I can definitely taste the alcohol in it.
And I don't think it's a beer. I don't think it's a flavored beer.
It's an alcoholic fruit punch. That's all it is.
Yeah. They also suggest you add a lime. Well, we don't have any freaking limes, so what are we supposed to do?
Whoa, fancy over here.
What?
I know, adding a lime to this.
I know, and pinky's up when you're
pinky's
drinking.
out. Jesus, add a lime to it. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's you know what that is? That's one of those like a White Claw kind of thing.
Oh, that's better than a White Claw.
But
I know what you mean.
Point is it's a candy beer, or
it is a candy liquor drink. Yeah.
I don't need that. So
I don't need it either.
Yeah, so we put it aside.
We did put it aside.
I'll pour it in the sink later when nobody's looking. But if you like Hawaiian Punch, let me rephrase. If you love Hawaiian Punch, that is your beverage.
Yeah, definitely.
That is your beverage. But and I do like Hawaiian
I think this
Punch.
would go great with some watermelon.
Maybe.
Yeah, with some watermelon.
I don't want any of it.
Maybe some KFC.
I'm just done.
Okay.
Just done.
I saw The Naked Gun yesterday.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
This is the new movie with Liam Neeson.
Yep, Pamela Anderson, Liam Neeson. You are going to see it today.
Yes. So don't give me any lines. Well, you can give me tell us the one you told me earlier. That one's okay.
So
this will give you an idea of the humor level of The Naked Gun.
He plays Lieutenant Detective Frank
Drebin Jr.
Frank Drebin Jr. And he walks into this party that's going on, and obviously the villain's hosting it because he's some tech giant, thing. And he walks in, and the villain walks up to him and goes, Lieutenant Detective Frank Drebin, and he shakes his hand, and Liam Neeson goes, "Me too." That's just funny stuff. They haven't had a parody in a long time because they stopped working. They had Airplane, they had the 3 Naked Gun movies, Hot Shots.
And those all worked. But then people thought, well, all you have to do is throw this stuff together and put silly stuff on screen and people will laugh. And we got Epic Movie, and we got Too Many Scary Movies. And pretty soon it awards. Well, because they just weren't funny anymore.
It's such a breath of fresh air. I loved this movie. I mean, it had me genuinely laughing out loud in the theater uncontrollably.
I mean, how many people were in the audience with you?
6 people.
Okay, and were they all laughing?
Yes.
See, that makes it worthwhile, right?
And there was an old ass couple in there, probably in their 60s or 70s.
Well, they're there to see.
Yes.
Because of the original one.
Yes. I mean, they were pretty old, and it was a pretty. I mean, we did go at 10 o'clock. It was the 10 o'clock showing, so it wasn't like prime hours or anything.
10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, and I loved it. I was laughing my ass off. There's so many like quirky one-liner, things that are going on. The jokes where he's always carrying a coffee with him. It's always making fun of detectives, how they always have a coffee on them. And it's just such a breath of fresh air to see like a legitimate comedy movie. Because the comedy movies that come out nowadays are just not funny.
or they're rom-coms.
Rom-coms. Yeah, most of them are like rom-coms and shit like that.
Yeah. But there's no parodies like there used to be. And, Airplane's a classic.
Airplane is a classic.
And Hot Shots is hysterically funny.
Yeah.
The Naked Gun movies are classics.
Yeah.
But then they started filtering them out with the bad ones, and there were just too many bad ones.
Yes. Yeah. And it's just so nice. And I'm hoping this is like how well this is doing. I'm hoping they bring out more comedy, just straight comedy movies, none of this rom-com bullshit, none, the Wedding Crashers and things like that. Like in the Wedding Crashers was pretty funny, but like it's one of those things where it's just like it's so nice to see just a flat out silly, goofy, all over the place comedy.
And it's funny because the key to making a good Naked Gun movie, as Leslie Nielsen would tell everybody, is you let the story be funny. You play it straight.
Yeah, he was super serious the whole way through. I mean, he did a fantastic job playing Leslie Nielsen's son.
And that's a tough thing to follow.
Yeah, I mean, it was so well done. It was so funny. And I don't want to. I want Scott to see it. There's one quote in the movie that still has me laughing so much, and it was when he was describing Pamela Anderson's character, and it's just funny shit, man. Like he walks in, like someone in the police force, which is funny because it's called police force,
police squad, right?
Police squad, yeah,
yes.
Police squad, and they're saying that there's a woman there to see him about, this so and so, and he looks through the window of his thing and he sees this silhouette of a woman, and he's like, I'll handle it. And he opens it up, and when he opens his door up, it's his coat rack. Like it's just funny shit like that. We don't get movies like that anymore. Yeah. We haven't got movies like that since the 90s.
And I saw the scene where Pamela Anderson comes into his office and he says, take a chair. So she grabs a chair and leaves.
Oh, well, see, there's more to it than that.
I'm sure
he
there
goes,
is.
Oh, take a chair. And she's like, no, thanks. I have plenty at home. And then she didn't like the way the thing was going. And then she goes, I will take that chair. And then she like walks out with it. It's just funny, subtle, goofy jokes like that, it was just a good movie, man.
We need more of those.
We do need more of those. And
I was trying to find the box office because it is doing well. They thought it would do 12 to 15 in its opening weekend, and it did 17.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it's done this weekend, but I want to say it was like 9 or 10. So it's still hanging in there. Well, because people need this. They need that kind of comedy sometimes, And I love the first 3 movies. There was a TV series too. Did you know that?
I didn't. It was called Police Force, right?
Police Squad.
Police Squad. It was called Police Squad.
And Leslie Nielsen was in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it a TV series first, and then they made a movie?
Nope. The TV series after the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Because at the end credits, by the way, pay attention to the end credits because there is a ton of funny shit in the end credits.
That's what John told me. John went and saw it. And he said the same thing.
There's a ton of funny little quirks and shit like that. In the end credits that you have to pay attention to. But
do they have weird jobs? Like I remember in the original Naked Gun movies, they had a fish wrangler. There's no fish in the movie, but there was a fish wrangler in the credits.
There's a bunch of funny shit in there. Yeah, there's a bunch of funny shit in there.
That's great.
And it was just super goofy and well worth it. Well, I would definitely see it again.
Awesome. I can't wait. I'm so glad that they did it right and they didn't screw it up. And they paid tribute to Leslie Nielsen because there was nobody as funny as that man by playing it straight.
Yeah.
That guy knew comedy. Have you ever seen him do an interview on the shows where he brings his fart machine?
The fart machine.
And sometimes he doesn't tell the people.
Yeah.
I mean, even after it's going on. He's just, and I guess, what does his gravesite say? His grave says something funny. Let me look it up here real quick because it's worth looking up.
But when I saw the trailers for The Naked Gun, when I initially saw the trailers for The Naked Gun, I saw that Liam Neeson was playing it. Let Her Rip.
That's Leslie Nielsen's gravesite. It says Let Her Rip.
I got so excited to see he was playing it because he's such a serious actor.
Yes, that's why it would work.
That's why it needed that. Yeah.
That's, as soon as I saw it too, I thought, you know what? Because they've been talking about a Naked Gun remake for years. Who are you going to get? You know, half these people don't know how to play a comedy role like that straight. But then they said Liam Neeson. I went, oh, he'll get it.
Yeah.
He'll get it. And apparently he did. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to going today and crying my eyes out.
Yeah. I have not. I don't think I've ever watched a movie in the theaters that has made me laugh uncontrollably.
That's awesome.
It was so nice, you know.
We had when I was working the movie theaters, this is how old I am. We had Airplane at our theater.
Yep.
And it was awesome because the last movie we'd let everybody in, and then we get the box office closed, and I would go sit and watch the rest of the movie, and I must have done it a dozen times just because it was so funny every single time, you know. And it seems like
Shirley, you can't be serious.
Yeah.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
And I'm sure that if you go back and see Naked, because the problem with these movies is sometimes you're laughing so hard you miss complete lines.
Yeah.
They're just as funny as the one that you're laughing at.
Yeah.
So you got to go see them a couple times. So that makes me very excited that that's doing so well. Do you have any interest in going to see Weapons?
Weapons? I don't even know that movie.
You probably saw the trailer. It's the movie where the kids all wake up at 2:17 a.m. and just run away and disappear.
No.
Then it turns out they're all from the same woman's classroom.
Oh, yeah, that one. Okay, yeah.
That's number one this week. It did $42.5 million. So it's
Wow.
probably covered his budget. It's got like 96% good reviews.
Huh.
So I'm very interested in seeing that. Jeff saw it and reviewed it, but he would not tell me, thankfully. I didn't ask him, but he wouldn't tell me what the secret is. How come those kids are running off?
Interesting.
But we'll find out when I go see that too. So yeah, lots of great movies coming out. We're gonna go see I think I'm gonna go see Weapons on Monday, as a matter of fact. If you want to go, I'll let you know.
I might do that, yeah.
Early in the morning, but yeah, I'll let you know. Because it's best to go first thing. If you're retired or self-employed, go to the movies in the morning.
Yeah.
It's quieter, better audience.
Oh yeah, when I was there, I mean, when we bought the tickets, we were the only person that had bought tickets, and we got there at 10 o'clock. By the way,
Oh yeah,
movie started 10:05. We got there at 10, and we went to buy tickets, and no one had purchased tickets yet.
perfect.
And so I was like, man, we're gonna be the only people in this movie. And then like the old couple that we saw, they parked at the same time. They ended up sitting down, and then someone sat down in the front, and then two more people sat down like closer to, like, you know, there's that first section and the second section.
Yeah,
They sat in the first section, which I think is weird. Why would anybody want to sit in that section with, like, I mean, I guess
it's too close for me. But
yeah.
Again, Jeff, he says I'll sit anywhere in the theater. I don't even ask him to pick. When you choose your own seats now.
Yeah.
He goes, just pick one for me. I have places I want to sit. I want to sit in the aisle, and I want to sit toward the back. That's where I like to sit.
I like to sit like, so there's the second section. If we're talking about the River Park Theater,
Yeah.
There's the second. I like to sit within the first like 4 rows of it beginning. That's where I like to sit because I feel like I'm just looking straight at.
Do you sit in the center?
Yes.
It's in the center.
Yeah.
Josh and Andrea do that too. They always pick seats.
I either
dead
like
center of the theater.
I either like to sit in the center or the very edge. It depends on how. If it's a really busy movie theater, I like to sit on the edge because then I can get out really quickly. If it's not a super busy theater, I'll sit right dead center.
The center is always the best place to see a movie. I'll never forget. Did you ever go to the Cinerama Dome before it closed?
No. It
may reopen, but right now it's still closed. But it was my favorite theater of all time. It was this gorgeous dome, and you went inside, and the screen surrounded you. It wasn't a 360, but it wasn't even 180, but it was close. And the imagery was just beautiful. The sound was incredible. It was like I said, my favorite theater. But I was there one time to see a movie. This was before you chose your own seats. And this couple came in, and they were doing this.
Oh God, they were trying to find
the dead center of the theater. I'm like, really? It's a dome.
Speaking of closed down, did you hear the reason she closed down?
I did. Yeah, we knew that was coming because Jeff and my son Josh and I, as a matter of fact, all worked at that theater at one point or another, and they cut down the number of days to 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And then they went back to full days, and we thought, oh, they're going to make it. And then they went back to 3 days. I said, no, they're not. They're not going to make it.
Well, I mean, it was a dollar theater. It was one of the dollar theaters.
Anymore.
I know. Well, it was.
Oh yeah, you explained it. Yeah.
It was a dollar theater. You would go there, watch the movies that were not in the big theaters anymore, but you'd get to see them for $1. And I'll tell you, when it was like that, it was always busy. We would go.
It was dirt cheap.
Yeah,
and I don't know how they survived
and then
that money.
And then they changed it, to a regular showing first run theater. But like, here's the problem: that theater was pretty run down.
Yes.
There were, tears in the seats and scuffs on the screens, and it's just like you can't charge full price for a first showing theater when the theater is in that kind of condition. Like, I get why they tried to do it to stay alive, but they needed to stay. They either needed to upgrade or stay to the dollar.
I think that's true to a certain degree. They did upgrade things before they went first run. But they didn't raise any prices or anything, and their refreshments are always cheaper than anyone else. Hot dog was what, $2?
I think it was $1.50 or
yeah, ridiculous. It's $6 at the other theaters. What is that?
Like on like Tuesdays or something like that, it was like $1 hot dog or something like that. You'd go there on a specific day, it was like $1 hot dog.
And they had Tuesday date night, which for like $10, you got 2 tickets, popcorn, and a Coke.
Yeah.
That's, I think, was the problem. You can't survive on that.
No.
And it's unfortunate, but the theater, I always liked the presentation there. I thought it was fine. You know. And but what has happened though, the big push here is that the casino is going to move in there.
Yeah, the Players Club.
Yeah, and the rumor is, and it's just a rumor at this point, that they're going to maintain 2 screens because as a casino, obviously they're grandfathered into certain laws, but they're only allowed so much space.
Yeah,
and the space in that building is so much bigger than the space in their current building, and they're not allowed to use that space.
Yeah.
So the rumor is they're going to keep 2 screens and keep them as like old classic movie screens.
Yeah.
I don't know if they even charge. You just go to the casino and you go watch the movie. I don't know. But that's just, and it's just a rumor. We don't know what's really going on. The county or the city makes a lot of money off that casino.
Yeah.
So they'll probably just give them the extra space is what my guess would be. I don't know the rules, but like I said, they do make a lot of money off that. But it is always sad to see a movie theater close down. That's the second Regency to close. The one in Camarillo had closed down.
Yeah, the one in Camarillo. I think the only one in Ventura County that's left is Santa Paula, right?
Santa Paula, yeah.
Yes, the Santa Paula.
Yeah, but there's fewer theaters in Santa Paula. I think that's where Jeff goes to most of his movies because he lives out in Santa Paula.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, that's the story on that. But that is sad news. I hate to hear a movie theater close because there's too few of them already. And you look at the weekend's box office. People are still going to the movies. The studios just got to figure out how to make money on it. And here's the hint: don't make $400 million movies. Really that simple.
There's too much money being put into movies.
That's the whole point. You cannot. It's post-COVID. You cannot make your money back on a $400 million movie, with one exception: the Avatar movies.
Yeah. See, this is the same complaint I have about video games. That they're spending so much money on video games.
What's the average budget of a video game? Do you have any idea?
I mean, I think the budget of Grand Theft Auto 6 is rumored to be
$2 billion, right?
Like over $1 billion.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And Borderlands 4, I think it has a $400 million budget. And it's just like, these AAA title games, between making the game and advertisement and all this other stuff, they're in order to make money on the game, they have to charge more than people want to spend on this video game.
Right.
And then when it doesn't sell well, they blame the consumer for not purchasing the video game. And are you
going to pay $125 for Grand Theft Auto?
No, I don't like Grand Theft Auto.
Okay, but if you did, $125, because that's what if they're spending over $1 billion on it, it's going to be at least $125.
No, it's probably going to be $79.99. It'll probably $79.99.
How can they make any money off of that?
Quantity sold,
I guess, and they sold a lot of them last time, so I guess that's true.
But there's a lot of drama going on in the video game community. There's this group called Collective Shout, and they
250 million copies times $80 is a lot of money.
Yeah, there's this group called Collective Shout, and they're an Australian-based feminist group that essentially bullied payment processors to remove. They're against adult situations in adult video games, putting children into harmful situations and shit like that. Well, the UK just passed a law, the Minors Protection Act or something like that, which it blocks internet access for minors and shit like that. Well, this collective shout bullied payment processors, essentially just spam called them, and they threatened to pull their payment processing for Steam and itch.io, which sell adult content games, right? And it kind of started off as being like porn games,
Right.
but
that
now
was their target.
that now it's kind of broadening out, and
I saw a video with a guy who does a podcast about horror video games,
Mhm.
and he says many of his games have disappeared now,
Yeah,
and they didn't have nudity or sex in them.
yeah.
They're just bloody and gory.
But it featured sometimes it features like children in harmful situations and shit like that. So a lot of these games started getting delisted, and when people were like, "Well, what's going on?" Steam and itch.io were like, "Oh, well, we were getting threatened by MasterCard and Visa that they weren't going to do payment processing with us anymore, and so we had to delist these games." Well, that pissed off the internet. So
Sure,
then there was a 4chan campaign to basically do what this collective shout movement did and spam Visa and MasterCard. And they were doing it so much that like these representatives were like cussing at these people about these complaints and
They
so
knew
on
what
and
was
so
going
forth.
on.
Yeah. And then so MasterCard released a statement saying it just basically said that they didn't actually do that. Well, so they released this public statement, and so Steam goes, "Well, that's bullshit," and then they shared the emails from Visa and MasterCard.
Why would anybody in this day and age say something that isn't true when there's I know why, but there's records of what happened. It's there.
Yeah. So, and they specifically quoted this one rule that Visa or MasterCard had about it's like it. That lawsuit that's going on between Palworld and Nintendo right now. Yes. How they changed their patent to be very, very vague.
Yeah. After the fact, by the way, that's important to remember.
Yes.
After the fact.
Well, the rule that's in that is also incredibly vague. It's just it's so vague, and it basically says that if they don't agree with it, they can pull. If they don't agree what the transaction is being about, they can pull your ability to do transactions through Visa and MasterCard. And so, but I mean, it's working, because again, and then it was so like, but it was like on itch.io, which is another like indie game platform place. They removed all of their adult content games because they had to. Well, now they're slowly starting to put stuff back on that didn't cost money, that was free.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's crazy that, we have this collective movement. And then when another movement pushes back, they fight the movement that's pushing back tenfold. Like, "Oh, we never did this and we never did that." And then here's the receipts saying that you did.
It says that you did.
So it's just, and
I'll just say those receipts don't exist, and whoever's on their side, I'll believe them.
And
it works these days.
The thing is, when that and here's the thing. It should not be the government's job to monitor the internet of who's using it.
No, that is officially censorship. Censorship gets thrown around as a word a lot.
Yes.
But it is not censorship if ABC doesn't show a porno movie because they don't want to.
Yes.
It's censorship if the government says you can't air that.
You can't air that
if
because
the government
a child might see it.
Yeah, if the government tells you, that's censorship. If somebody else decides it, that's not censorship. That's your choice.
So, and that's in the UK. And I actually got affected by that UK law. So on Twitter, which has a lot of adult content on there, some of the artists that I follow that draw really awesome, nude anime characters, I could not view any of that content until Twitter could verify my age. Now, a lot of these places, and even YouTube's going to get to this point too, but like, I finally was unbanned from viewing all this stuff. They realized that one, my Twitter account's super fucking old, and two,
if your Twitter account's 18 years or older, you're probably old enough.
So the thing is that a lot of these sites are now going to start requiring an identification process, and you have to submit your ID take
Yeah.
a picture of your ID and submit it to them. No, the fuck I'm not.
Yeah.
No, absolutely fucking not. I'm not gonna put my fucking ID.
Nobody wants to do that because everything gets hacked and everything ends up in the wrong hands. It doesn't make sense. I don't know what they're going to do. It's a mess, but I will tell you, it's only going to get worse because we have the same forces here in the States.
There is a new law that is, and they've pitched it before and it didn't pass, but it's back in. Well, so in Texas, that's to go to porn sites. That's actually, but you're not blocked from it, but to visit porn sites in Texas. Yes, Andrew, they do that in Texas. They do that. It's funny, when I was in Louisiana for President's Club, you could not access Pornhub at all.
Wait a minute.
I should say Cornhub.
Oh, because you were
because they
in
have
another state.
They have regulate because my IP showed me in the state.
Yeah.
So they have regulations and shit like that. But this is not just like porn sites. This is going to be anything that could potentially have any adult content that could be dangerous to children, like YouTube. YouTube, going onto YouTube, any kind of like a Mr. Beast video could get flagged if it has, like a
gluttony,
or anything else like that. So it's crazy, in this collective shout movement. Here it is. It's just irresponsible parents that don't want to take responsibility for their children. It is my job as a parent to make sure my children are not looking at things they shouldn't be looking at on the internet. It is not the government's job.
It is not.
To do my job as a parent, right?
It is not.
Like, and it's just like it's parents that are afraid to tell their children no. So therefore, you can't look at it because our government says you can't.
Yeah.
That's not. It's not my job. It's not their job.
Government should not be doing that, and it's always been an issue, and that is true censorship. When the government is telling you can't look at it, that you can't read it, that you can't see it, that is true censorship.
Yeah.
It's not censorship when a network tells you that they don't want to air it. That's their choice. But when the government's involved, that's when you got problems.
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy, and anybody who doesn't want this happening, make sure that you go and harass Visa and MasterCard
it's
too.
Just going to get worse because there's talk here in the States about eliminating pornography completely. It's in the big beautiful bill, and that's going to cause the same kind of thing here. We're going to have the same sort of thing. And if I understand that the porno companies are all getting together and fighting it, they don't have they can't beat the government.
No,
it's just going to be a mess. And by the way, I don't know that it's in the big beautiful bill, but I don't
think it's in the big bill. There's a new
Project 2025 for sure.
There's a new. It's the same. It's basically like a Children's Protection Act. That's what it is.
Well, that's not what it is. It's about religion, and it's about completely eliminating pornography.
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
Well, here's the big difference between like America and the Europe and the UK.
Yeah, we're guaranteed freedom of speech.
Is that exact? Well, the freedom of speech and separation of religion and state and things like that. So if something does end up passing, there's going to be a bazillion lawyers that are going to file appeals for this, saying you're going against the Constitution. This is constitutionally illegal. You can't do that. And then it gets put on hold. And then it goes through. It's the same thing with the gun laws here in California. For like a week, we the gun law where you had to submit ID, go through a background check for ammo, it was deemed unconstitutional. And then so like for a week, people were buying all kinds of ammo online.
Yep, I remember.
This just recently happened. This just like a few weeks ago, last month, I think it was.
No, I remember, for a reason I'll tell you off air.
And then, probably your son bought a bunch of ammo.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Well, he did it legally. It's
he did, absolutely
legal. Oh yeah, absolutely perfectly legal if it was your son. And then like a week later, one of the lawyers was like, "Oh, well, we need a few weeks. Can you put this on hold?" And blah blah blah. And it's literally the same pattern that happens every 5 years. And then they move it and move it and move it and move it. So you can't buy ammunition online because now it's on hold again, and so on and so forth. And it's the same pattern. Every couple of years, every few years, a judge says, yeah, this is unconstitutional, and it's removed, and then they appeal it. So for a week you can buy, and it's so funny because like websites will say like ammunition websites will say like, hey, we're going to halt all orders for anything outside of California so we can get this merchandise to these California residents in the meantime. And then once
that's smart for a number of reasons.
Yeah, so they actually do that. It'll say on their websites, we are halting all orders for anybody outside of California that, because we want to make sure we can ship these orders to them while we can, and then so on and so forth. So it's crazy, and it's all this government regulation shit. And here's the thing, like, should there be regulation on purchasing firearms? Yes, I do not have a problem with a background check on a firearm. I really don't, and even hardcore gun owners, they're fine with it too. They're absolutely fine with it.
Many are. That's true.
You know who the people that complain about this stuff? People that have no interest in buying a gun whatsoever. And it's so funny because people think it's like we as gun owners don't want regulation on our gun. I don't fucking care. If I have
within reason,
I shouldn't have to wait 10 days. If I go in, like in Arizona, if you're an Arizona resident, you can walk into a gun store, right? You can walk into a sporting goods store. You can give them your ID. They'll type it in. They'll do a background check right there. And they say, okay, good. You're good to go.
Doesn't work that way in California.
No, you have to wait 10 days.
You remember The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Homer Simpson goes into the gun store to buy a gun.
Yeah.
So I'm here to buy a gun. Well, you have to wait 10 days. He's all, oh, but I'm mad now.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's
35 minutes for Andrew. That's how long it takes to do the background check.
That's there's no reason for it not to do it. It's in and out. I don't know. The rules shouldn't be made for people who are following the law.
Correct.
But the problem is finding the people that don't. And nothing's easy, and there's no yes or no answers to any of this stuff. And it'll all have to just trickle out. But as far as censorship's concerned, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Oh yeah, 100%. But we have so many laws in place to protect government censorship and government overreach, I should say.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of lawyers that will that will sue the government.
Oh yeah. So. That's true.
But I think that's it for today. I'm going to send you guys over to Omid Live. And he's currently playing Battlefield 6 right now. So
what do we need to do on this end? Anything, or is it just
no? I'm handling it here for right now, but I'll target settings.
We'll wait.
Oh, I can't rate. We must not be streaming long enough. Some creators like Z-Chum, you have to be streaming for a minimum of an hour. So
we're an hour too.
Where Omid must have a longer stream setting.
Well, you know what? You're not getting any more of our followers. Hell with you.
Well, go visit Omid Live. He's playing Battlefield 6 right now. I would have liked to rate him, but
he didn't want you to, apparently.
No, apparently not.
I guess we're scum to him.
Yeah.
Well, he's scum to everybody.
Low-level streamer. Must not have enough viewers to be rating. Son of a bitch.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. See you next time. See you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. No issues.
What was I going to say about the grape? Oh, no. I'm going to see Canned Heat, which is an old jazz rock band at the Grape on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the Grape too.
Yeah.
It is. Trust me. Just to hit the buttons.
Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.